How would your organization be able to cooperate with a conservative government if a conservative government comes into power, or potentially even reform coming into power if they
Yeah,
come into
I
power?
mean, it's a good question that you raise, and I am always making it clear to our members that we need the Conservative Party ultimately to get back into a sensible place on the European issue. I mean, historically, our organisation was full of conservatives. It was British conservatives who wrote the European Convention on Human Rights. It was British officials who framed a lot of the things that have come into being over the past 75 years by way of European institutions. It was the Conservative Party who took the UK into the EEC back in the 1970s. And actually, I mean, just a little bit more recent history, in 2016, when the Brexit referendum took place, the Conservative Party officially was for staying in. Far more of its MPs voted to stay in than to come out. They just seem to have lost their way a little bit since then. The problem we've got is that if at some point in the future a Labour government knocks on the door in Brussels and says, we want to come back in, but the Conservatives, as the opposition, are still saying, yes, but if we win the next election, we'll take the UK right back out again, then we're doomed to failure. The EU, quite rightly, would not want to renew what I call the in out, shake it all about psychodrama in the UK. They'll only really take us back when there's something of a political consensus about it. So the Conservatives have got a tricky strategic decision to make. If they tack to the right to try and triangulate with reform, they're leaving an awful lot of ground on their centre flank, which the Liberal Democrats in particular, I think, will soak up and take more parliamentary seats from them. On the other hand, if they tack back into the centre to fight the Lib Dems, then maybe they fear that Nigel Farage will run amok on the right. However, they can't really do both things at once, no matter how hard they might try to. And all history shows that ultimately you have to tack back into the centre in order to win, because that is where elections are won from.